Miss Lottie. I scrambled to my feet and just stood there and stared at her. And that was the moment when childhood faded and womanhood began. That violent, crazy act was the last act of childhood. For as I gazed at the immobile face with the sad, weary eyes, I gazed upon a kind of reality which is hidden to childhood. The witch was no longer a witch, but only a broken old woman who had dared to create beauty in the midst of ugliness and sterility. She had been born in squalor and lived in it all her life. Now, at the end of that life, she had nothing except a falling down hut, a wrecked body, and John Burke, the mindless son of her passion. Whatever verve there was left in her, whatever was of love and beauty and joy that had not been squeezed out by life, had been there in the marigolds she had so tenderly cared for. Of course, I could not express the things that I knew about Miss Lottie as I stood there, awkward and ashamed. The years have put words to the things I knew in that moment, and as I look back upon it, I know that that moment marked the end of innocence. Innocence involves an unseeing acceptance of things at face value, and ignorance of the area below the surface. In that humiliating moment, I looked beyond myself and into the depths of another person. This was the beginning of compassion, and one cannot have both compassion and innocence. The years have taken me worlds away from that time and that place, from the dust and squalor of our lives, and from the bright thing that I destroyed in a blind, childish striking out at God knows what. Miss Lottie died long ago, and many years have passed since I last saw her hut, completely barren at last. For despite my wild contrition, she never planted marigolds again. Yet there are times when the image of those passionate yellow mounds returns with a painful poignancy. For one does not have to be ignorant and poor to find that his life is as barren as the dusty yards of our town. That I, too, had planted marigolds.
Okay, so I lied. We came to the end of our story. Sorry, we're going to run a little long. So Miss Lottie then comes out, and Elizabeth notices her, and our character says that at this point she finally grew up, and she's finally starting to see that this woman isn't a witch. She's not evil. She's just a person trying to bring beauty into the world. And how does she feels upset about that? How does she feel?
She feels ashamed.
She feels ashamed again, back to at the very beginning of the story when they had originally done it. She felt ashamed again, but now she's understanding why she's feeling ashamed, right? And then at the end of the story, Miss Lottie passes away. She's a little bit older, so she's starting to see what Miss Lottie was doing by trying to bring some beauty into an otherwise poor situation. So what does our character do at the very last sentence? She says that she's done what?
She's planted the same flowers.
Yep, so she's planting the same flowers because she's trying to show that same compassion and that same beauty that Miss Lottie was in the story. Good. So, I have assigned you guys an exit ticket. If you go on to your Google Classroom and you go into our class, you will see the exit ticket there for you. Go ahead and work on that silently. And then when you are done, just type in the chat that you are done. All right, guys, I see we're done with the exit ticket. Real quick before you leave, for homework, there is that vocabulary sheet or section on your study sync. I would like that done over the weekend. It's not very long. You're just matching words with their definitions. And then once you complete that, have it sent to me, and we will discuss the book and, well, the story in a little bit longer detail, and we'll have a test for you guys to complete next week. So if there aren't any questions, you guys are good to go. In about 10 minutes, I will see you guys in our math classroom.
Okay.